Imagine this. One man, born into wealth and privilege, who could have lived a life of comfort. Instead, he chose chaos. A man whose name would echo in fear across the globe, whose actions would shatter history, and whose final moments came in silence on a dark night in Pakistan. This is the chilling rise and inevitable fall of Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind the deadliest terror attack in modern history. But here's the twist. His story isn't just about power or violence. It's about obsession, betrayal, and a shocking ending you probably don't know the full truth about. So stick around, because what you're about to hear is far darker, stranger, and more twisted than you think. Quick question before we dive in. When you hear the name Osama bin Laden, what's the very first thing that comes to mind? Fear? Hatred? The haunting images of 9/11? Drop your thoughts below. I'll be checking the comments. Osama bin Muhammad bin Awad bin Laden was born in 1957 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The son of Mohammed bin Laden, a billionaire construction tycoon tied closely to the Saudi royal family. From birth, Osama had what millions could only dream of: unlimited wealth, status, privilege. He grew up surrounded by luxury, educated in elite schools, and deeply religious. But here's the strange part. While most heirs of billionaires chased influence or empire, Osama was different. He was quiet, reserved, obsessed with religion. And beneath that calm surface, something dangerous was growing. By his teens, radical Islamist scholars began shaping his worldview. They preached about Western corruption of Muslim lands, and Osama absorbed every word. He wasn't just listening. He was preparing. Then came the spark. In 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. For the world, just another geopolitical move. But for Osama, it was destiny. He left Saudi Arabia, traded luxury for the rugged mountains of Afghanistan. Imagine that, a billionaire's son swapping mansions for caves, silk robes for bullets. But for him, this wasn't sacrifice, it was holy war. He used his fortune to fund fighters, build camps, and create supply lines. He wasn't just fighting, he was networking, gaining influence. Out of this, something terrifying was born. An organization, a network, a foundation for global jihad. He called it al-Qaeda, the base. In those mountains, mostly unnoticed by the world, the seed of the most feared terror group in modern history was planted. And no one realized what was coming. By the late 1980s, the Soviets were defeated. Most celebrated victory. But bin Laden wasn't satisfied. He had tasted power, and now he wanted more. He expanded his vision, not just Afghanistan, but the Muslim world itself. And his new ultimate enemy? The United States. Throughout the 1990s, bin Laden tested his reach. In 1998, U.S. embassies in Kenya and Tanzania were bombed, killing over 200. In 2000, the USS Cole was attacked in Yemen, killing 17 sailors. These weren't random attacks. They were warnings. His way of saying, "We're watching." But behind the scenes, he was plotting something far greater. September 11th, 2001. A crisp Tuesday morning in New York City. Clear skies. Calm air. And then chaos. At 8:46 a.m., a plane slammed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. 17 minutes later, another into the South Tower. America was under attack. At 9:37, the Pentagon was hit. At 10:03, passengers on United Flight 93 sacrificed themselves to bring down their hijacked plane in a Pennsylvania field. Nearly 3,000 lives lost. The single deadliest terror attack in modern history. And behind it all, the shadow of Osama bin Laden. If you remember where you were that day, or if you've only seen it in documentaries, drop it in the comments. Because that moment didn't just scar America. It scarred the entire world. The U.S. launched its war on terror. Troops stormed Afghanistan, toppled the Taliban, and bombed al-Qaeda camps. But bin Laden? He vanished. Like smoke. For years, he became a ghost. Posters, news, even video games carried his face. But the man himself? Gone. Some thought he was dead. Others thought untouchable. But the CIA never stopped watching. They tracked whispers, couriers, strange movements. Until one day, they found something unusual. A walled-off compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. No phones. No internet. Trash burned instead of thrown out. And inside, a tall man who never left. Could it be him? The U.S. debated for months. Then came the order, Operation Neptune Spear. May 2nd, 2011. Night. Two Black Hawk helicopters carrying Navy SEAL Team 6 lifted off. Low, fast, and silent. At 1 a.m., they reached the compound. One helicopter crashed, but the mission pressed on. The SEALs moved room by room. Women and children rushed out. Guards neutralized. And then, on the third floor, a tall, bearded man stood in a dark bedroom, shielded by his wife. They recognized him instantly. The target, Osama bin Laden. He was unarmed, but he didn't surrender. Reports say he resisted. One wife lunged at the SEALs. In a split second, 2 shots. One to the chest. One above the eye. It was over. The most wanted man on Earth was dead in less than a heartbeat. DNA confirmed it. His body was flown out, washed, wrapped, and buried at sea, denying his followers a shrine. And so it ended. Not with a fiery battle. Not with a grand speech. But in silence in a bedroom with a single, precise shot. When the news broke, the world erupted. Crowds cheered in New York and Washington. Some found closure. Others knew the scars of 9/11 would never heal. But here's the real question. Did bin Laden's death make the world safer? Or did it just open the door for new threats, like ISIS, Boko Haram, and others who rose from al-Qaeda's ashes? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading. Because here's the truth. Bin Laden believed fear could change the world. And in some ways it did. But in the end, fear couldn't save him. He went from billionaire's son, to warrior in the mountains, to the most feared man alive, and finally, to a fugitive, hiding in silence, taken down by the very forces he thought he could outwit. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you. That tells me you care about stories that matter. Don't forget to hit that like button. It helps more than you know. Subscribe if you want more deep dives into history's darkest figures and untold mysteries. And share this video to remind others that even the most powerful villains always meet their doom. Osama bin Laden lived in shadows, and in shadows he died. His story is a chilling reminder. Power built on fear never lasts. Justice always finds a way.